hammerheads. Thanks for tuning in. Well, it's Wednesday, isn't it? And that bloody cat. Tell you what, I'm still looking after Linda's cat, my sister, right? And I can't wait till she moves into her new flat and takes it with her. I mean, it's alright, it's just likes wrecking the place, that's all. But he runs away screaming every time I roll around on the couch. Forget about that. Yeah, it's Wednesday, halfway through the week, isn't it? So, it's my weekly film review. Oh, I'm glad that washing machine shut up. I've just realised how deafening the silence is now. Because my washing machine, right, fucking hell, I thought it was going to take off. It was like, you know that Avios advert when you've got washing machines and all that flying around in the fucking sky? I'm sure it was going to do one of them and join the fucking lot of them. I wish it would, because I need a new fucking washing machine, mate. I don't give a fuck. Forget about that. Right, weekly film review, right? Tangents. From 1978. Yep. Starring Roger Moore, Richard Harris, Hardy Kruger, Richard Burton. The Wild Geese. Brilliant, this. A classic. You know, quite star-studded as well. And if my memory serves me correctly, 1970, it was actually May 1978 when the UK cinema release was for this. Because me and my mum, right, we had a big argument a couple of years, 3 years ago or whatever. I was round hers, you know, having me tea or whatever. I happened to mention this film in passing, right? Oh, I watched this last night with such and such. She says, oh, the bloody awful film that. I went to the pictures with your dad to see it. Like my biological dad, because she's been married 3 times. And I says, I thought about it, right? And I says, Mum, it's fucking impossible. How? You got divorced in 1974. This was released in 1978. And we lived at Mask by the Sea when this was released. And I don't recall ever seeing him when we lived there. All in fucking 3 years we lived there. So, you know, she can't win. Because, you know, she's in the wrong. When you start throwing facts in her direction, it's like, she runs out in the huff, runs out the room. It's like once, oh, I was playing bingo and red car one. Oh, this beautiful sunset, Trevor, a big red ball falling beneath the sea. Oh, I thought about it. I went, Mum, it's scientifically impossible. The fucking sun does not set in the east. You know, because obviously we're on the northeast coast. Ran out, she couldn't handle it. She says, oh, I'm telling you now, I've seen that sunset. Yeah, right. What, in another world? Must have been, mustn't it? Anyway, another fucking tangent, for God's sake, man. Anyway, fuck. Right, The Wild Geese, right? Brilliant film. And it's actually from a novel, this, by Daniel Carney. Yeah, I've never read it. I don't know when it was published. Probably sometime in the early 70s, I would say. And basically, it's about... no, I'll read you the synopsis on the back, because they're not usually very good, are they? But their home is the battlefield. Their calling is war. They're only... For fuck's sake. Can't see a thing with them on. I haven't been to the opticians for 5 years, but I've got to sort me bastard. I cannot read now with them on. Right. Their home is the battlefield, that's better. Their calling is war. Their only loyalty is to each other. They are the Wild Geese. 50 crack mercenary paratroops commanded by fearless veteran Colonel Faulkner Richard Burton. Their mission, to land in a remote and hostile corner of Africa. Corner of Africa. I wasn't aware that that continent was square-shaped. Never mind. Free the one man who can change a nation's destiny, seize the airport and make their escape. But while the wild geese are fighting and dying in the African sun, sinister forces in the corridors of power are working to seal their fate. An all-action war film with a powerful and dramatic theme. I wouldn't exactly say it was a war film as such, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's got war kind of bits in it when they're in Africa, but I mean, it's set in modern day London, well, 70s London, you know what I mean? That was brilliant, me. Stuart Granger, he's Matheson, here's my synopsis. They're all skint, these 50 blokes. He gets Richard Burton to round them all up, you know what I mean? Because he's skint, he needs the money. He's a hard drinker, just like he is in real life and all. And he assembles this motley crew of aging, you know, mercenaries. They go to Africa, they've got to rescue this bloke who's due for execution. And this bloke is the opposition to this dictator, and they need him out and blah blah blah. Anyway, Matheson makes a bloody deal with the dictator, doesn't he? More money. And them lot can just die in Africa and he doesn't have to pay them 30 grand each, because that's what they're getting. I mean, that's quite a lot of money in the 70s, times 50, 30 grand. And anyway, the rescue plan, couldn't have been smoother. They got him out and everything, but like I said, they got fucked over by Matheson. Anyway, few of them make it out. Roger Moore, obviously, because he's like the pilot, and Richard Burton. I love the bit near the beginning when Roger Moore makes that gangster bloke's son eat a bag of strychnine. Then he has a big price on his head and he's the most wanted man in England and that. Anyway, the price gets lifted in order to do this mission, and there's another bit. There's vivid bits in this film for when I first seen it when I was a kid, you know. And, well, a kid, I was about 14 when I first seen that. Still a kid, I suppose. And the other bit when Richard Burton, near the end, he breaks into Matheson's apartment, waits for him, and he pops from behind wherever he was hiding in the room with a silenced pistol. He's like giving them all the ins and outs of what's happened and oh bloody blah. How do you feel about all the hundreds of bodies that litter Africa? And he's like, well, Richard Burton goes, and you know, because he's supposed to be, he promised Richard Harris he would be the godson to his son if anything happened to him. So he's going to stick by his words. And he mentioned that as well, you know, and how do you feel about a young boy being left without a father and all this. And Richard Matheson says, well, I suppose you'd better shoot me then. Richard Burton goes, yes, you're right. I suppose I'd better had shoot you. Richard, and then fucking Matheson's like, no. He shouldn't have called his bluff, should he? I remember the very last line from that film. The very last word spoken by Richard Burton was, let's talk about your father. Yeah. Brilliant film, that. I've only got it on VHS. Joan Norma Trading does the opening song, and I've seen her at the Newcastle Opera House. She was alright, you know, a bit boring. I just wanted to get to the bar pronto, me. Yep. God almighty. I mean, when you think about it, right, you can tell where films like The Expendables got their ideas, you know what I mean? Same kind of thing, aging blokes, brilliant at what they do despite their age though. Fucking get sent on this very important mission and succeed. Well, these sort of do, but difference between this and The Expendables, they all got out alive. only a small fraction did in this, which is more realistic, really. See you later, hammerheads! Oi, mate! I'm trying to get some fucking sleep, you bastard!